Good morning, everybody. Yeah, Dawn had an early morning conference call. The sun is out after a night of rain. Hi, Tux. Good morning. He was up here on his bed on the platform, dry, and it was pouring though. Good boy. Where's Morris? I think Morris has been catting around at night lately because when I come out in the morning, he's super sleepy. Morris! Good morning, Morris! He's up top over there. Hi! Hello! His food! So, an inch before midnight, 0.98, and 0.3 after midnight. So we had a good amount of rain that we can all be pleased about. Very windy on the backside of the storm right after the rain wind. 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts. I got up and looked out the window and this tree was moving all over the place. That was like 3 a.m. Yeah, it's brisk out here, and so today's worry is it gonna get down near freezing tonight or not? They have put up a freeze warning. Don and I will make the call on moving stuff this afternoon when I get home from shopping. We're thinking leave Ruby out and just cart in the pots that are easily moved, that make sense to move, and cover up what we can't move. So we'll see. I'm worried about it. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. Obviously, blowing the driveway and the yard is in my future, but nothing I can do about it this morning time-wise, or it's also too wet to do anything about it this morning. But I am stoked over here looking out the window this morning. Stoked about having good rain. You know, the ferns have grown 3 or 4 inches overnight. It's really filling out nicely over there. So, that's good. Good morning, Gray. Hi. Hi. Here's your food. Oh. Hi, baby girl. Come here so I don't have to lean forward so much. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Well, the air certainly feels cleaner this morning. It's a combination of cooler temperatures and the rain washed, a bunch of the stuff down. I don't know if we're going to get as bad as we were again this spring or not. I don't know how much of the pine pollen and stuff has happened, but I suspect this is probably we hit peak. I don't know. We'll see. I don't expect it to be over, but better. So Don spotted a Model S Tesla service vehicle headed that way, and I wasn't near it. We were pretty much farther away or whatever, but he saw the service on the side of it. I haven't seen a Tesla service vehicle, out and about in Fuquay in a while, so I don't know. It would be good if we have mobile service will come to Fuquay again, still more often, however you want to look at it. It's a nice Model Y over here. I think it's the guy playing basketball this morning. We're hustling around as best as we can to get in 2 laps before I got to get home and head out. All right, you sleepyheads, you hold down the fort. Oh, you too, Tux. Hold down the fort, buddy. Oh, Dawn has my purse, not me. Yeah.
1.3.
That's what I said. Very good. Tempest was accurate this go around.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm holding up production.
Well, I'm not holding all of that plus what I'm holding, so.
Oh, I understand.
So it's okay. If I was holding everything, it wouldn't be good. So last night I was reading, and they are bringing back 12-volt accessory USB on while you're out of the car. It's going to be a separate thing where you enable the accessory switch. So it's not tied to climate or Century mode or other stuff. It's just tied to, you say, I want the accessory on. People thought it might be in 12.3.8, but it's not. So they're talking now about a spring release and of some goodies, and it being included in that to unmad the people that have refrigerators and medicine and all this stuff that they... So apparently that's coming. Keep an eye out for it.
That's great.
If we get it, we'll let you know.
Right. I think it's very worthwhile because you know, one of the advantages of an electric car is you can use it kind of like a home office or away from home. In other words, you don't have to turn it off. It's climate controlled, mobile climate control.
Yep, I figured I better get this out of Don's hands.
And so I think, like you said, people who want little refrigerators or any of those kinds of things, having a USB accessory plugged in, I don't know what all you would need, but that 12 volt ought to be there. Right.
Sometimes I need to charge my Pogo watch. That's the number one reason why I want it. Or if we're on a trip, I want to charge camera batteries.
That's right.
Something to do with that. So anyway, I think I read it's coming back, and it's going to be a separate accessory on, like climate on thing.
Right. And that way I guess they could technically for EPA mileage, with that little milliwatt per hour difference in that energy use there, they can say, well, with, you know, if you use the default settings, it'll be off, and then therefore they'll save, you know, you'll have one less watt hour per mile or something. Who knows?
Yeah, they did say that it will use a little bit of energy whether you have something plugged in or not.
That's right.
Because it's keeping the car more awake. I get it.
We're bringing, what is it?
I want convenience. Some people want every last drop of energy conserved for range. Right. I'm not one of those people. Yeah.
Phantom drain is just part of our lives.
So we did not see the owls last night during the filming window. The camera was in the people door over here instead of over here on the driveway because it was raining, and she got to stay in the box when it's cooler, the eggs, to keep them warm. And she's generally not leaving the box for more than 15 minutes or so anyway. But, so hopefully we'll see them tonight. We heard them, though. I heard them several times. Well, I definitely like being out for a drive with that big blue sky and puffy clouds. Well, I guess the sun went behind a cloud just then. But what I was going to say is, you know, I invoked FSD over here, and I was going about 48 and a 45. And when I took my foot off the accelerator, the speed just started sinking. And I was like, well, God, what speed does she think it is? And of course, I looked down at the display and I can't tell. It doesn't say. It just said, I'm just seeing one speed right now, 47. I have no idea if that's the speed limit, the max speed. It's just the speed I'm going. So I don't know what she thinks the speed limit is here. And I've complained about this before, and I'm probably going to continue to complain about it. I know the speed's 45. There's a 45 sign. But anyway, my point is I had to put my foot on the accelerator so I didn't slow down from like 48 to 35 really quick and irritate the driver behind me in a valid 45 zone. So it used to be when you would engage FSD that the car would only drop a mile or two as it engaged. And now when I'm engaging, I'm seeing it's dropping 5 or 10 miles really fast. And it shouldn't do that. It should keep the speed you're going, and then if it needs to raise the speed because you were going too slow or lower the speed because you were going too fast, it should do that afterward. But right when you engage it, for your comfort and the comfort of the other drivers on the road with you, it should maintain the speed that you're going and then modify it if necessary, in my opinion. So we've got a flagger here. I can see the road up ahead is, the right lane is closed. So they're going to move us over. I am still in FSD. You know, I'll bump out if I need to, but I'll give her a chance to do the right thing here. The cars have been doing so much better, like majorly better, about handling construction zones. So I'm going to give her I'm going to give her a chance to do that, but be prepared to take over. Like I said, I believe the right lane is closed up here. Is she going to be able to follow the car over? Oh, wow, look, she's doing a good job. The slow part, though, Ruby, although the cars in front of you are moving, the slow part would be good. Look at those azaleas on the left over there, just gorgeous. So she handled getting over the yellow line, following these other cars, listening to the, you know, the cones and all of that stuff. She handled it perfectly, in my opinion. That's the construction. I am absolutely, wow. I mean, that was as good as I could have handled it. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Good job, Ruby. I took control at the last minute and decided to cut through the parking lot because the, yeah, it says it's 10 and I'm going 15. The light back there was backed up past the light before the light, and that double turn lane and the dump trucks trying to go through it and all that other stuff, it's just, I'm not waiting 2 light cycles over there. It takes a bit to come through the parking lot, but it's also pretty simple cut through. Here's the Holly Springs Harris Teeter. Almost has as bad a parking lot as the Fuquay one. I really appreciated living places where the parking lots were too big or bigger than necessary for the amount of cars that would park there. And now that land is so valuable in Wake County, you don't get that very much anymore. And I will still have to wait at this light, but it's just not as bad as the other light. At least not if people go, go, go. I got places to be, people. God, the one driver up there wasn't paying attention. I just want to get out and smack people sometimes. Don't you? On occasion, every once in a while. Well, I'll remember that that's a pretty long light. So I'm getting on the turnpike. And, you know, I've been having some trouble merging in up here because of the speed limit issues. Right now she's going 33 and she says hurry. Thought she didn't do hurry when you weren't going above a certain. Alright, so she's getting over. She's 50, 60. Getting over again. Come on, Ruby, you need to go. There's somebody coming up back there. 60 max, she says, and it's 70 here. So I'm bumping the stock up hard once, hard twice, hard 3 times, 75 max. And she's still doing 60 in a hurry. Maybe because of the construction cones. Those haven't been there every week though. So she's still only doing 61. The speed limit here is 70. I'd like to be minimum doing 73. Now 64. So I would say back there she simply would not pick up the speed. She's up to 68 now. 69. You know, in my humble opinion, not so humble, 70, 71 now, 72. That is way too long to merge into traffic and get up to speed on the turnpike. If I were in Washington, D.C., well, first off, there wouldn't be all this space out here because the belt line would be packed. But, you know, people would just run you over. I mean, there's just no way that is way too long to get up to speed. When you're in a Tesla, you could be going speed by the time you come off the on-ramp. So she's doing 73 now. I told her max 75. I mean, I guess it's good enough. 74. If this is hurry, when the max is 75, it doesn't seem too hurry to me. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not running late. She picked hurry, not me. I don't know why she picked hurry. The closer spot was available, although I might not like the amount of pollen dropped on the car while I'm inside. But it's not like Ruby's super clean. You basically can't have a clean car during pollen season here. If Don tries to wash the car, the pollen comes down before he can get it dried off and finished. There's a car around the corner over there where I sometimes park, getting its glass repaired. So I parked over here. Hopefully that's okay. It's very windy and I'm cold and I have on short sleeves and I put on my jacket that thankfully I brought with me. Don't you think everyone needs an acrylic furniture leg? They do have 4 of them. I picked up this taco carousel. I think it might come in handy for a few times a year we do tacos. These towels just came out of the steamer. They're still warm. They feel good. Yeah, 54 and breezy is not feeling too warm today, especially without the sunshine. And you're used to 75. Well, I mean, God, over the weekend it was close to 90. I got some fairy garden bunny rabbit village pieces, outdoor stuff. I'll show you after I set it in one of my pots. It's kind of cute. It's like 6 pieces and they were $1 each, so not bad. And I got a couple other things. I've actually seen several ID4s today, and that's not too common. And a bunch of new 3s. I mean, you know, the headlights are so distinctive, there's no missing it. Have not seen a new Y today. Looking still, though, looking. See, new 3. They've been everywhere today. Pretty black Model X. Must be performance based on the wheels, but I didn't see the calipers. There was a white pre-facelift Model S in the Whole Foods parking lot when I came back to Ruby. Wasn't parked too far from me. I've always had a soft spot for the pre-facelift. I like them both, but I've never looked at the pre-facelift and thought it was bad. I have a fondness, so that was kind of neat to see. And no Rivians today, no Cybertrucks. I think I saw a Hertz EV6, but that was all. Like I said, several ID4s today. But there was several 3s and Ys in the Whole Foods parking lot. Besides this beautiful Emperor 1 Japanese maple here, and the dogwood that had a few blooms here on the right. When we came back this morning, Don and I noticed that the woodsy azalea up here was blooming. This is something we planted from that Campbell Road nursery. Wow, we got a lot of oak trees coming up in there. A lot of oak trees to go in and let Don use his machine and get rid of them. Don't want it to fill in. There are the 6 spring / Easter / bunny scenes. I am going to move them outside. Here's 2 Ray Dunn mugs. There's nighttime. And the taco container. I also got another origami owl locket and another piece of jewelry. Yeah. And I think that was all. I mean, I don't think I carried something off someplace else. I'm heating up something for Dawn to eat before we have to go move plants. I don't know if it's going to go down below 38 or not, and I guess we just can't risk it. And at least this year, it appears we're only going to have to worry about stuff for one night. Last year was like 10 or more nights. It was a real mess. So I'd just be grateful that it's only one night this year and do what we need to do. Do what we can do. We've almost done. We're going to go down and add a second tarp to Dawn's tree. Yeah. It's a lot of work, but it should only be the one night this year. Hopefully. We moved all the little things into the garage. So Dawn didn't think some of them were too little, but mostly they were little. So that saved us from having to do anything with them. And then we've used not quite every tarp and every shower curtain, but darned close. And a couple of sheets. I'm told Don I'd meet him down there, but I was going in this direction. Oh, we've covered up everything we can. Hydrangeas and maple trees and viburnum and, you know, anything that looked like it needed it. The whole front yard down the hill's covered up too. So we've currently used up every stick we have. Don had to go grab 2 sticks he had in reserve that he was saving for me for when I had a stick emergency. But you know, that box of 50 that I had bought pretty much used up now. So I don't know how bad it's going to get. I don't know if this is really going to help. But at least we did what we could do. You can see all the spots out there where we covered what we could. But Don's tree is so big, we got to add a second tarp. It's 7:15 and I'm going to do bag 4 and 5. You going to keep me company, Marty? Good boy. Good boy. It took about 45 minutes to do bags 4 and 5, and I am stopping. I like tiling with the mostly flat tiles. That was kind of fun.